I was raised by my single mother in Port Harcourt. My father left when I was a baby, so it was only the two of us. We lived in a single room in a face-me-I-face-you compound in Duopo. Life was very difficult. My mother sold roasted plantain boiler to survive. She woke up very early every day, bought plantain from the market, roasted it over a coal fire outside our room, and sold it with groundnuts and pepper. That was our only source of income. We often ate only once a day. I helped her after school by collecting money from customers and cleaning up. One of our regular customers was Mr. Jane, a senior police officer. He worked at a nearby police station. He always bought from my mother and paid extra. He began showing interest in us. He asked about my schooling and my mother's struggle. Gradually, he started helping us. He bought me school bags, books, and uniform. He paid our rent when we could not afford it. He gave my mother money for food. My mother started dating him. She was in her early 30s at the time. Mr. James was already in his 50s. His first wife had died some years earlier, and he had 3 grown sons, aged 23, 20, and 18. Their names were Shinedu, Shima, and Kelechi. After some time, my mother's husband proposed marriage. My mother accepted. They got married in a simple short ceremony. I was about 11 years old then. We moved into his big house in a better area at Port Harcourt. For the first time, we had proper rooms, electricity from a generator, and enough food. We became one family. I called his sons my brother, and my mother was happy. She believed our suffering had ended. However, things changed soon after the marriage. My mother's husband became very controlling. He ordered my mother to stop her roasted plantain business. He said it was not suitable for the wife of a senior police officer. My mother pleaded with him, but he insisted. Beat her on several occasions where she tries to argue. I heard the beating from the next room and saw the bruise on her face the next morning. He stopped her business completely. He took her to the police station and made her his personal assistant. She worked as his PA, typed documents, cleaned his office every day, washed his uniform at home, and ran errands for him. She had no money of her own anymore. He controlled everything she did. One day, when I was 12 years old, although I looked older, like 16 because of my height and body development, my mother's husband sent my mother to clean his office at the station. After she left, he called me into his bedroom. I was alone in the house with him. He started touching me inappropriately. I resisted and begged him to stop, calling him Papa. He overpowered me and raped me. That was the first time. He took my virginity. He warned me never to tell anyone. He threatened to arrest my mother and send her to prison if I spoke. That was the beginning of my ordeal. For the next 1 month, he continued to assault me sexually. Whenever my mother was away, I lived in constant fear and shame. I could not eat or sleep properly. Then one night, he called his eldest son, Shinedu, who was 23, into his bedroom. He told Shinedu that he was now a man and that I belonged to them. He instructed Shinedu to sleep with me. Shinedu hesitated at first, but he eventually did it because he feared his father. From that point, both my mother's husband and Shinedu abused me regularly. I was too afraid to tell my mother. My mother's husband had threatened me many times. He said he would kill her or arrest her if I spoke. One afternoon, my mother returned home earlier than expected and caught Shinedu and me in the act. She screamed and confronted her husband. My mother's husband beat her severely. He slapped her, punched her, and kicked her until she was bleeding. He warned her that if she told anyone, he would arrest her and no one would believe her because he was a senior police officer. My mother was terrified. She held me and begged me to manage the situation. She said we had no choice. I cried bitterly that day. All my hopes destroyed. This abuse continued for 7 years. My mother's husband and the eldest son kept using me sexually. Sometimes they came together. I became withdrawn and lost all joy. I finished secondary school but could not continue my university. I was angry with my mother for not protecting me and not trying to escape earlier. After 7 years, when I was 19 years old, my mother finally took a bold decision. One early morning, she woke me up and told me to pack a small bag. That day, my mother's husband had traveled to his village to inspect his building projects, so the house was quiet. My mother had been secretly saving money, saving small amounts from the little she received from food and housekeeping over the years. We left the house while his son were still sleeping. We took a bus to my mother's village in Imo State. My mother was very afraid during the journey. She kept looking back, thinking he would come after us. Surprisingly, my mother's husband never came looking for us. There was no phone calls, no visits, no threats. It was as if we had never been part of his life. We started a new life in the village. My mother went back to farming and I learned tailoring to support myself. I'm 26 years old now. I am physically free, but the pain remains. I find it very hard to forgive my mother for allowing me to suffer for so many years. I love her because she is my mother, but I still feel deep resentment for the years she chose fear over my safety. I also do not know how to forgive her husband. He destroyed my innocence, my trust, and my childhood. I still completely hate the idea of marriage and find it difficult to trust any man. This is my real experience. I have written it exactly as it happened. I share it with sincerity, hoping it helps someone in a similar situation to find courage. Thanks for reading my story.